classic thrills, quirky dark rides, and spinning. So much spinning! Wiener Prater is Vienna's city amusement park. It's like a permanent carnival, if you will, with a huge number of rides, attractions, restaurants, and odd things to do. This is Stu from Out and Back Travel. I make videos to help inspire your theme park travel adventures. Coming up in this video, here are the things you need to know before you go to Wiener Prater. Wiener Prater is a giant amusement park located in the heart of Vienna. The park is ungated, so the access is free and you can enter the grounds all year round 24/7, but it might not mean the rides are actually open. Aside from the amusement rides, there's lots to do in the grounds, like an indoor skydiving centre, a Madame Tussauds, and a roller coaster restaurant, just like the ones you'll find at Europa Park and Alton Towers. Prater has a high-energy carnival atmosphere with a quirky, eccentric touch. You never know what you might find, like a giant chocolate bar riding a carousel. The attractions have separate owners, so you have to pay individually for each ride you want to go on. Each ride costs somewhere between €2 to €6 on average. There are a few exceptions to this, of course, and there are no unlimited ride wristbands or pay one price deals, as each ride is independently operated. This also means the opening times are determined by the individual owner, so they can be different. In general, the park opens for its main season at the start of April to the end of October each year. During this time, the park will open from 10 in the morning till 1 AM in the morning, the rides operating somewhere between those times. As well as the established attractions, there are spaces for guest rides and temporary rides to visit, and this keeps things nice and fresh, and it always ensures there's something new to try. In 2022, the famous German 5-looping travelling roller coaster, Olympia Looping, will have its summer home at Prater. However, a ride will set you back €10. Let's take a look at some helpful tips to get the best out of your visit to this amazing place. Make sure you take some cash. Only a handful of the rides take card payment, so you'll need some cash to enjoy your day at Prater. Even going to the toilet will require Euro coins to access the turnstiles. Make sure you budget. As the attractions are pay as you go, this can quickly add up to a mortgage application. It's sensible to set a budget beforehand and do your best to stick to it. If you want to ride all the adult accessible roller coasters, this will cost you €68, which is a good chunk into anyone's travel spending money, which leads us to our next tip. Prioritise the rides that are important to you. Prater is so much more than roller coasters. Due to the nature of the park, you'll find a lot of the roller coasters are actually clones or cookie cutter rides that you can find elsewhere. It's the dark rides and the flat rides where things get a little more interesting. For me personally, I couldn't justify spending the €6 to ride the Boomerang, which you can find the exact roller coaster at many other theme parks around the world, and €5 for the Volare, which are notoriously painful lay-down roller coasters. Think riding a roller coaster squashed inside a sandwich toaster, so no thank you. A roller coaster I would definitely recommend is a trip on the nostalgic Scenic Railway. This is a very tame classic wooden roller coaster that features a brakes person on the train to control the speed of the ride. And unlike most of the surviving scenic railways, this one actually has scenery. Mega Blitz, Insider and Gesent Gazelle are some of the better roller coasters that are available. I'd use your budget for more interesting or unusual rides, and that's why it's important to pace your day. The park has quite long operating hours, 10 AM to 1 AM, and don't forget you're paying per ride, so that could quickly add up. So make sure you pace your day to try and get the best experience. Not everything opened at 10 AM, and some of the rides closed early, so I wouldn't leave everything until late just in case you miss out if things did close. We found that most things started to open up around lunchtime, so did a couple of hours in the park, took an afternoon break, and then came back in the evening as it started to get dark. And that leads us on to my next point, which is get some night rides. Visiting after dark when all the rides are lit up adds a whole extra layer of atmosphere to this park. We definitely save some rides until night time to try and get the most spectacular experience. Visit on peak days. Unlike most other amusement parks where you try and avoid those peak busy days, hitting Prater on a weekend or in the summer holidays is probably a good idea, so you have the best chances of all the rides actually being operational. Taking the view. The Wiener Rad is the famous Ferris wheel, and it's one of Vienna's most notorious landmarks. A trip will set you back €13.50, and for 2022 the wheel has introduced Platform 9, which you can ride around the wheel strapped to a harness standing on a glass plate. And Prater really is a magnet for this kind of crazy, and it adds to the fun and charm of the place. If you're looking for a more sedate, relaxing view, I'd recommend Nini, a restaurant at the top of the Superboot Hotel, which has an amazing reef deck that overlooks the Prater. They do incredible cocktails, and this was an amazing pause in our visit to Prater as the view was simply stunning, both in the daytime and then again at night. Get on the flat rides. Once your food and drinks have settled, get ready to be whirled and twirled through the air. Prater has some impressive flat rides. The King Booster adds a spinning gondola to the 60-mile-an-hour catapult, so it makes the direction of travel more unpredictable for that crazier ride. Tornado is a unique attraction with wires that flip the gondola to give the sensation of being on a circus trapeze. The Ecstasy ride is visually one of the most intimidating rides. However, as someone myself really struggles with spinning, this one doesn't cause too much nausea when you're actually on it. I'd recommend it as it really is bonkers, especially flying towards the roof inside the building. Check out the water rides. There's even some water rides. The Aqua Gaudi log flume features an unusual uphill section for one of the splashdowns. The Wild Alpenbahn is a fantastic raft ride with a terrifying vertical lift, and if you load the boat fully, expect some crazy spinning. Make sure you don't do spoilers though. Don't spoil any of the dark rides or attractions by watching POVs or reading about what they actually are. I know this is really hard, and I get it that you might want to do some research into which of the 200 available ghost trains you might want to actually ride, but really a lot of these rides have some special surprises which are best if you keep them a surprise. If you only do one indoor attraction, I'd recommend Blue Planet. It's bonkers, I won't say anything else, you won't regret it. From the other indoor attractions I experienced, the top ones I'd recommend would be the Iceberg, Hotel Psycho, and the Insider roller coaster. So that concludes our quick guide to Prater, the fantastic city amusement park in Vienna. Have you visited the Prater before? What did you think of the park? Do you have any tips that I haven't covered? Let me know in the comments below, and as always, stay safe on the way out and back.